And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned. We've returned here with our second series of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with Australia versus Bjorn. Of course, this is the play-in stage of the EWC, the Esports World Cup 2025. And now we're here to determine who will face off against Bjorn in the winners match, who will face off against Australia in the elimination match. We have Gabe and Lambo. Let's go. Let us go. We have HeRoMaRinE up against Lambo here in our TvZ, and it's gonna be a spicy one here. These two, they did actually compete. They played against each other in the EWC European qualifiers, where Gabe did defeat Lambo in that best of 5. And for those who are unaware, Lambo isn't meant to be here. he's actually not meant to be here. Well, I should say originally he wasn't, as he failed to make it through the European qualifier. But what did occur? Well, Showtime, he was able to advance on into EWC via Star Zagora. Because Showtime made it through, it meant that there was an extra slot available from the European region, and Lambo, he was able to squeeze his way into the global qualifier and then make it through into the main event, into EWC. So it was a very shaky, very rocky road for Lambo, but he barely squeezed through, barely made it through. Big shout to Showtime. Big shout to Showtime for helping to allow for that to happen. And Lambo, he's made it this far, but it's going to be a massive mountain, massive Gabe to climb. Oh boy. Let us go. As again, the players are going to be getting ready. We'll keep an eye out on said vetoes. Coming into this, I'll be honest, I do favor Gabe coming into this series. Gabe, he was actually the one that actually defeated Lambo in those European qualifiers to make it into the into the global qualifiers as well. But we're about to get a segment piece. Oh, he's so big. Wait, I guess we're cutting to break? Never mind. Looks like we're cutting to a 3-minute break. But again, the players are getting ready, so we're going to be looking over the players for the next 3 minutes. We'll get there. So again, take this time to get some snacks while you can, and get ready for a night of StarCraft. We're still in the early hours of the day of EWC, and it's going to be a long day of StarCraft. Oh boy. See you soon after this very short break. Oh, never mind. Okay, they showed a timer top left. I was very confused. I was like, are we cutting a break? I guess that's still a countdown timer to the match. So I guess they're like, they're messaging the cast is like, yo, you guys have to fill for 3 minutes. Okay. Oh. Oh no. Players, they lagged out on us for a moment there. We got their keys. Now these nice little podiums this time. Beautiful. Yeah, Mouse versus Shopify. Once again, for EWC, they do emphasize that kind of like team versus team dynamic. It's a big part of EWC. Also, when it comes to the format, or when it comes to how our stream is going to be working, I think we're going to keep it to us casting at least for the first day, maybe first 2 days, and then coming in towards the final days, I'll probably do like a react stream, like a co-stream. We have access to both streams. We have access to the clean feed that we're covering right now. But we also have access to the feed with the casters' voices, where we are also able to like have them on and just add our own like flavor commentary to it on top of that as well, or add our own comments. And I think I like the idea of doing that for the final day, for letting the casters do their thing. We'll be able to watch for day 4, at least day 4, maybe day 3 as well. We might do that day 3 as well. We'll see. For day 1, then we'll jump into cast. Where's the mainstream? Do we have a link? Exclamation mark co-stream. Let's go. I believe that should link to the mainstream. EWC Black. Nope, never mind. Not anymore. We'll have to fix that. Your vetoes are through. Vitas are through. Lost Fantasy, Incorporeal, Pylon, Magnatha, Ultralove, Persephone, and Persephone were gotten rid of. Interesting. We're going to be starting things off on Tokamak. That is going to be a very nice map for Lambo, a bit of a larger map, a much more comfortable map for the Zerg player. Meanwhile, Torches made it through. That should not have happened. Typically, Torches is vetoed, but that did slip through the cracks here when it comes to the veto process. A treat in a best of 3, and the title match is going to be on Leyline. So curious to see what kind of builds Gabe has on Torches. That's going to be a spicy game for sure. It'll be spicy. But thank you 007, and I'll update the command. I'll update the co-stream command. Let's make sure my co-stream. Beautiful. Exclamation P. There we go. Beautiful. EWC SNB Arena _EN. It's quite a long URL, but there we go. We got it. Likewise, there's also a stream on YouTube. I should say we're also streaming on YouTube, but there's also the EWC main stream on YouTube as well. So if you are blocked in one region, then you can watch it on YouTube. They got you covered. Oh, as we are in game, they're already in. Looks like, unless they're in a practice game. Okay. Looks like Gaby's practicing. I love that they just showed that. Yeah, they panned over. He's in a custom game. Oh, looks like he's asking for a moment though. They're still setting up on the stage. Lambo, of course, he's one of those players. I mean, Gabe as well, actually. There's actually been limited information about them over the past month. We spoke earlier how someone like Björn and Estrella, both of them actually, they've both been very active in the online tournament scene in the lead up to this tournament, so there's just so much information about them. Lambo and Gabe, less so. Like Lambo, he's very much so one that does love to cook, like to cook his builds and to hide them, to preserve them. Likewise, Gabe, he himself has expressed his disdain for online tournaments, for online open cups as well. He's been a little bit more active in the Monday night weeklies, but in general, like Gabe is not really one to compete too often in those tournaments. For his own reasons. For him, I think it's less about hiding builds and more about TVP and playing non-stop TVP in those tournaments as well. So he does typically avoid it. So always a treat whenever we do get to see them face off. Yo, shout out to Kashim? Was that Kashim? I think so. Yeah, as I think that was Kashim on stage. Much love, much love. Polish admin extraordinaire. I think I saw Zatrosh earlier as well. I think I saw him on stage for Björn versus Estrella. I think. It was a little bit harder to tell. Yes, we are getting ready here for our next series. Gabe is out of his custom game. He's in the lobby. And I think we're in game. I think. Yeah. Like we saw the players tapping away. So we're jumping in. Yo, the Moopies! They're showing off the Moopies on Tokamak. Let's go. Beautiful. Hashtag naughty walks. As spawning in the right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran from Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. Big game. And spawning in the bottom. And spawning in the bottom corner of TvZ, we have the German Zerg player, the blue Zerg from Shopify. It is Lambo. Jesus, they they gave you no time for Lambo. They just went in. Okay, Pappy. Okay. Also, I did just notice, so I do apologize. Hold on, let me move this over. Beautiful. So I just didn't want to cover the logo. Is this okay? Maybe. If not, I'll just I'll leave for this game. Otherwise, I'll just get rid of our own overlay. We don't want to cover the sponsors, I should say. Otherwise, we're jumping into our game so far. Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of our Zerg player, out of Lambo. Likewise, we have a Gabe going for his own Rax Expand. So far, so good. We don't really expect any major deviations early on, especially on Tokamak. Welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps of that pool. Longer rush distance by ground, more defensive bases as well. Again, this is the ideal, I would say this is a more ideal map for Lambo to be able to get into the mid game, to survive the early game aggression of Gabe, and to make it into a more standard and more comfortable game state. It's going to be up to Gabe to try to disrupt that, to try to deter, unless otherwise embrace a longer and later game against Lambo. And I'm not too sure if Gabe wants to embrace that. We'll see. Also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. Best of luck. Meanwhile, we do dive in. Reaver heads into the middle line. Does not get the drone. But does get away. Does slip by. Disrupting the opener. Behind this third TC before the starport, so economic follow-up here out of Gabe. Again, we don't really expect any major setup here. From here, we should be seeing a starport into potentially an add-on swap into Banshee. Otherwise, we could skip it and go into a Liberator. We'll keep an eye on Gabe to see if he does commit into Banshees. Lambo, he is typically one to embrace Roaches in the mid-game, to go for a Roach-based opener. I'm curious to see if Lambo is willing, has been inspired by Shin. I mentioned earlier that Lambo, he's been intentionally hiding his play for a long time, and I'm curious what his playstyle is going to be. If you're watching DreamHack Dallas, you'll know that Shin has had a very unique style, opening up Roach into Infestor into Ultras, and with that he was able to catch Clem off guard. Clem was very unprepared for that kind of style, at least at DreamHack Dallas. Since then, Clem has been getting better, of course. I mean, now that that has been revealed, everyone saw it, everyone's been getting ready for it, and Clem has been a lot more better. He's just been getting better at shutting it down early on and punishing that kind of play. We saw that Rainer, he's also been cooking in Korea. He's been going for Ling-based openers, Ling into also Infestor into Ultra. So a lot of players have been trying to play this fast Ultra style. Meanwhile, Gabe going not into Banshees, into BC. That is a Fusion Core. Okay. Fusion Core is on the way. The Observer does take note. Hellions, they poke in, they poke out. But again, the Battle Cruiser is on the way, and this can lead into mech. Oh boy. Airless Scout is going to be denied. We have the initial Banshee. We have the initial 111 that is revealed. Oh, Fake Cloak. Let's go. Yeah, Fake Cloak out of Gabe. He does cancel. He does cancel the Banshee as well. And again, he shows Banshee, but really what he's going for is Battle Cruiser. Meanwhile, we do have Lambo opening up Roach. Now, he's not going for an all-in. He's making Roaches just to defend. There's 4 Roaches on the way, rushing into a lair. Aliens, once again, they poke in. They threaten a dive. But again, BC-based openers are typically indicative of mech. Don't have to be, but we'll keep an eye open for extra factories, for Cyclones, for Battle Mech. Oh boy. Roaches were revealed. But again, it's only 4 Roaches. Like, Lambo's just droning, saturating. Taking up. Yep, there it is. We have a second and third factory. It is mech. So as to be expected here with a BC-based opener, once Lambo confirms the battle cruisers, he can assume and deduct this himself. And again, thankfully, Lambo, he did already open up Roach. Very safe way to open up. And we expect to see Roaches out of Lambo every game in the series. Every game. As Yamato's on the way, this tells us that, of course, that Gabe is going to double down and going to invest even harder into more BCs. Link Scout into the mineral line. Does slip in? Do we get a free scout? No shot. He just walks in. Not even link speed, by the way. Not even link speed. He just walks in. That was on Gabe, by the way. That was on Gabe to determine what was going on, to deny the scouts. And the link sees all the factories. Now he knows. And now Lamb is fully aware. We have more queens in production. VC does slip into the main. But Lamb is going to be able to react in time. At the same time, Mass Hellion here in towards the third. Ooh. Doesn't quite make its way through. Roaches, they keep up. They deny. So clutch moves out of Lambo. He does defend his third base. At the same time, BC into the main. Gets a couple of workers. And nothing major though. Only 2 drones going down. The Hellions, they do get into the middle, and the drones are lining up. Oh no! Oh, they are lining up for a moment. A couple of them are getting roasted. So, oh no! As they stack up here at the third. Behind the mineral line, 10 drones going down. He's not done. Nowhere close. 13, 14. He gets the entire mineral line. 15 drones falling. 16 even. 17 towards the end. That is critical damage. At the same time, BC barely survives. Barely gets out of the main. Spire is on the way. And Lambo is in a rough position. Now, if you might be looking here, the soup does lie, right? Lambo, he's been stuck redroning. He's been redroning, resaturating, and yes, Lambo is getting back up to 80 workers, but he should have already been there, and he should be focusing on tech at this point and on his own army as well. But this does set him behind. He has to reinvest back into workers. This does slow him down. This does give Gabe a lot of momentum. So Gabe is in a stronger position. Oh, Jesus. What is that stinger? Every time. I don't know if you noticed, but God, that like hurt my eyes. I don't know if you noticed. Whenever they switch, this happened previously. Whenever they switch to player POV, there's a stinger that plays. A stinger is basically like an animation, like a brief animation that plays as they switch scenes. But it's like on a 1 second window. Like, I don't think it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be like 3-4 seconds. But like they have it cut down to like 1 second. So it's like bam, and like it's like a bright light that like flashes your face. You saw a little bit of it when they fade back out, but when they fade in, that's when it blasts you in the face. It's crazy. So, hopefully they fix that. That was... Ooh, meanwhile, Gate does overextend. 1 BC goes down. Hellions back into the mineral line. And they get another 12 drones. Oh my god. 12 more workers go down. The economy gets crippled. Gabe is on 81 SCVs. That's going to be 31 drones going down. And it might be thinking like, oh, but Gabe is throwing away Hellions to do so. This is well worth it, right? Hellions are cheap. Hellions are cheap. Gabe with 80 workers, he can't afford to throw them away. And this is a really good way to approach Tokamak, to be honest. I mentioned earlier how Tokamak, what is it? Larger map, longer rush distance by ground, more defendable 4-base setup. Like, Tokamak is known for longer and later games. So how better to approach Tokamak than with mech? As we have a full wall here, we have turrets, sensor towers, tank lines as well. Gaby's ready for the push. Hellbats, they morph in. Hopefully some day one jank. It's the Men in Black stuff that erases your memory. Exactly, it's very, very bright. I'm pretty sure it is something that they're gonna fix over time. But this happened in the Australia series and this one as well. So hopefully they get on it. As Lambo, he rotates over towards the right-hand side, looking for a way in. And again, the soup does lie. Lambo, he's maxed out, but we do see that Gabe has a more efficient army. He has a much more efficient army. He has a defensive advantage. Bailey's going to be rolling in. They do shut down a good amount of Hellbats. Nicely done. Only 2 tanks. True, the rest of the tank line is too far behind. Yeah, it's too far back. Lambo, he does break into the mineral line. He does get a couple of SCVs. He'll get all of them. Yeah, they're so low. 11 SCVs is going to be going down, and Lambo, he does break through. And again, Gabe, where are the rest of the tanks? I'd love to see like a pan out, like a zoom out here, but I'm pretty sure there's like 3 or 4 tanks over on the left-hand side. So a nice catch here from Lambo, a nice rotation, takes down the mineral line, and Lambo, he may have just done it. Yeah, he may have just done it here. Whew. Where Bailings are being denied, and again, before Gabe could fully max out, before it could really build up, Lambo comes in and shuts him down. That's Bailings, that's gonna be 25 SCVs falling. Fourth base is going to fall as well. Does barely survive. Gabe, he's holding on, but at this point, Lambo's done enough. At this point, he's done enough damage. He can rebuild, remax, and go again. You can see here, yeah, we can see some of the tanks set up here at the third. Only one there, only the one tank at that third base. And Lambo, he is moving in. And honestly, the wing condition for Lambo is not even to break the naturals, just to contain. If he can contain Gabe on 3 bases, that's all he needs to achieve. But it goes even further, busts into the mineral line. Oof. 20 SCV kills, GG gets called, and Lambo able to break Gabe again before he reaches that final form and takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very nice attack there out of Gabe. Sorry, out of Lambo, I meant to say. He was able to connect very nicely when it came to his banelings, and we saw the Gabe, he wasn't fully set up at the 4th base. He wasn't able to completely get ready here for the rotation. I assumed that he would have enough, but barely nuts. Barely nuts. And Lambo just went for the kill. He went for the kill then and there. So really nice killer instinct out of Lambo, as he had a shaky start. Once again, like, Gabe did a great job killing workers. He killed 31 drones. 31 drones did go down throughout the course of that early to mid game. It was an amazing amount of economic damage. So Lambo just went for it. Just went for the kill. Went for the throat. Was able to break Gabe at his 4th. And we'll see how Gabe will adjust coming into Torches. Remember, Torches is a game too. This is a game that I was most looking forward to. I don't expect mech here. Torches is known for aggression, is known for all-ins. And we got our player intro. Let's go. And the map intro even. Give us the intro. Unfortunately, no Moopies on this map, I don't think. Unfortunately. Was it a mistake going to so many Hellbats? I would say so. In the sense that the Hellions were doing a great job harassing, but after a certain point, the harassment ended, and that is where we did need a greater army. I was a little bit shocked to see how low the tank count was, to be honest. There were, remember, if you recall, as we were speaking, I assumed that there were more tanks at the 3rd, and I assumed that's where they were, but there just weren't any. There was just one there. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Torches, we have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Gabe, HeRoMaRinE from Mouse. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg for Shopify. It is Lambo. Oh, you gotta be quick. Gotta be quick with the intros. Oh, hello. Now, as a reminder, Lambo last game he went hatch gas pool. This time, what do we have? We have a hatch pool based opener out of Lambo. I do like this. So I believe Lambo is going to go for a gas. I mean, he's going for a gas to start here, and the purpose is to cut corners, to defend with purely Ling Queen, and to get a faster 3rd base, and to drone up, and to be greedy. On the one hand, you could say this is this wise to do so here on Torches? Well, the upside about Torches, which is a rare feature on this map, is the ramp, right? There's a ramp coming into the natural, so you can wall that area off. Likewise, if Gabe doesn't mine through the gold patches next to his natural, then Lambo can quickly take that 3rd, and as he's doing, you can see he's mining through those patches, mining through those minerals, take that 3rd base, and he'll be safe from any kind of Hellion harass. If you recall, this would often happen on El Dorado. This would often happen on El Dorado. That was in the previous map pool. You can see, yep, Gabe checks, he confirms that the minerals have been mined, and he's in position to delay the 3rd base. I would want to see Gabe mine his own mineral patches as well, just to open up this area if Lambo were to take this expansion, to be able to harass. Because remember, Lambo, he's skipping gases. And again, the reason why he's skipping gases is to try to cut corners. Oh, as the bunker gets thrown down, the Reaper has arrived, and the hatchery is going to be delayed. Very nice pickup. Takes down the drone. Denies the expansion. And Lambo, he has no link speed. He's now forced to take earlier gas than he would have liked to. So gas is now on the way. And Lambo's being punished. He's being punished for his greed. Oof. Queen's trying to move in. The KDA charge knocking it back. And behind this game, he's taking his 3rd. He doesn't need to mine through the patches anymore. Not anymore. We have a second gas, guys. Oh, sorry, that was... Oh my god. As drone's getting caught out. Yeah, the drone is getting caught. Now we can finally morph in the hatchery. But again, a very delayed expansion for Lambo. And so he has a late third base, he has late droning, late expansion, late minerals, late saturation, but also late gases as well. As Lambo once again opening up Roach. And again, we expect to see Roaches every game in this series. Now, welcome to Torches. Torches has a much shorter rush distance by ground. We could see Lambo be even more aggressive in this game. Last game, Lambo, he was able to break the fourth. Here, he might even try to go for a push at the natural. So we'll see when and if Lambo does cut workers. We'll keep an eye on him. As Lambo, he's Jesus rushing into a very fast layer. That's a sub 4-minute layer timing. Okay. So really fast layer out of Lambo. I mean, it makes sense because he skipped link speed, of course. So rushing into the faster layer. Taking all of his gases, or at least 3 gases. Double Evo Chamber tells us that Lambo is going for a 1-1 timing. And Gabe is moving out with drop play. It's moving out already. Catching out the Overlord. Overlord does go down. Drop into the main. I remember Lambo without link speed his army, it takes a while to respond and to rotate. So Gabe denying mine time at the same time, the Hellion Reaper into the natural. Very major damage so far though. Just trying to poke in. Gets one drone. Gets one worker. We have a full wall at the natural ramp. This time we have Gabe going into bio, not into mech. Setting up on 5 Raxes, and Gabe should be expanding towards Lambo, I would imagine. But again, I'm pretty sure Lambo intends on cutting workers a little bit earlier and to commit with 1-1 with Mass Roach. That would make the most sense in my mind, especially on Torches, is to go for a Roach all in. For now, Lambo, yeah, he's droning up to 68. That's 3 base saturation. From here, we'll see where he takes his 4th base. As he opens up the center of the map. No, we got the player cams. And Lambo, he hasn't made a drone in quite some time. We mentioned earlier he droned up to 68, and he has not droned up any further. I mean, he has no 4th base, he's making purely Roaches. And again, it looks like he's going for 3 base all-in. Yeah, 3 base all-in with 1-1 with Roach speed as well. A very strong timing here out of Lambo. And this is going to hit even harder on Torches because of the short rush distance by ground. You can see that the 3rd bases, they're right next to each other. They're within the same screen even. This is when I would zoom out and show the 2 bases on the same screen. But yeah, Lambo, he's maxing out, and it'll be a tough hold for Gabe. He's throwing down bunkers, he's walling up. Lambo splitting up his army. Does have a force towards the natural. Distracting Gabe. Yeah, it does force him back at the same time. Roaches, they move forward. They bring down one of the tanks and the bunker as well. Nicely done. Yeah, still forcing his way in. Boys are being pulled. Another tank goes down. That's 2 tanks falling. And this is brutal damage already. Yeah, Gabe, he's being torn apart. He's being torn apart. GG gets called. Lambo with a fist bump, and Lambo, he will take the series 2-0, taking down Gabe and advancing on to the winners match, to a qualifying match for the group stage. Let's go. GG, well played. Again, we often do see these roach all-ins on torches. Gabe, he was aware, he was trying to set up, he had his bunkers, he had his tank line, but he was distracted, he was torn apart. We saw that he did react quite strongly to the roaches at the natural. He stimmed everything over, he exposed himself, he was late to pull the boys, and his tanks were falling one after the other. GG. Yeah, this moment here, you can see the Marines, they were just now racing back. And again, the boys that were late to repair the bunkers. You can see the bunkers that were a little bit delayed as well. They just weren't already in time. And again, this is very similar to what we were seeing on El Dorado, right? So these gasless openers into roach all-ins. It's a really good way to approach torches specifically. Like, this is a very much the way torches build out of Lambo. And with that, Gabe, he was torn apart. He himself did not open up Banshee like we often do see. Oh, I should I just realized I was covering Lambo's name. Yo, light one? Oh my god, it's crazy. But GG will play. Shout out to Lambo for claiming the series. A bit of a shorter series, to be honest. I feel like game... Oh,
thank you very much, boys and girls. I'm here with Lambo representing Shopify Rebellion, getting a 2-0 win against HeRoMaRinE. First of all, congratulations. I want to ask you, when it comes to that first game, first couple of minutes, were you expecting a battle cruiser opener coming in from your opponent?
I was expecting it when I scouted that there was no add-on on the barracks and also no cloak in research. And I figured he was most likely going to play mech on that map, so I had it in the back of my mind already that it might be BC.
And we saw, I want to say, like, you were able to catch him off guard a couple of times as well, and you used your Ravager army like consistently, and you were able to wear him down. Were you expecting it to work that well? I want to say both in game 1 and also at the end of game 2 as well.
Game 2, I was expecting it to work that way, otherwise I would not have done it, because that was the plan, to kill him right then and there. In game 1, it was more of a constant attack. Like I saw that he had many Cyclones, so I decided to commit in. If he had more tanks, I think I would have played it more slowly.
Well, I want to say congratulations. That was a quick 2-0 fashion for you in the first best of 3. One more, and you will make it into the main stage, of course, for EWC. Thank you for joining us. Let's head on over back to the studio.
I do appreciate that Lambo, he was able to give a little bit more insight here in game 1, talking about how, like, he noticed the low tank count. We were discussing it ourselves as well after game 1, how because he noticed it, that's why he committed even harder in game 1. I would have liked it a little bit more if the host had asked Lambo about the economic game state, just because remember, game 1 was a rough game for Lambo. Like, he was in a rough position. Remember, he lost 31 drones. Like, he lost so many workers in game 1. Game 2 was more like, was a little bit more cut and dry. Like, even as Lambo said, like, the all-in was kind of the plan from the get-go. But in game 1, like, there was a more back and forth dynamic, and it would have been nice to have heard, like, his mental state as well, like, after taking those losses, like, what he thought about the game state. Oh, he has a split keyboard. Nice. But regardless, really cool to hear from Lambo. GG. GG, well played. As Lambo does claim the win. And with that, that means we have our next series, we have our next match. It is going to be Lambo versus Björn coming up next in the qualifying match. Yo, the Shopify team kill. But here we go. So again, Björn versus Lambo. I believe that should be the next series. Meanwhile, I believe HeRoMaRinE versus Estrella, that should be on the B stream. I would imagine that's going to be on the B stream. So a shout out to those over on the B stream as well for covering that series to determine who's going to be the first player out of the Esports World Cup. And it's brutal here, right? It's like Gabe and Estrella, they flew all the way over to Riyadh. They're a part of the Esports World Cup, but the tournaments, the run is going to end for one of them here tonight, soon, like within the next couple of minutes here, or the next hour or so, in their next series. Again, that won't be covered by the mainstream, I don't believe, as they're going to be focusing on the qualifying matches instead. There we go. Just updating. But yeah, I'm curious to see what their setup is. Talking a little bit meta here about the stage, about the setup that they have on the mainstream. Again, I'm a little bit confused. just because we can't hear them, maybe you can give us a little bit of insight in the chat. Zombie and Rotterdam, they haven't been casting, right? I think they've only been the analysts, correct? And if they haven't been casting, because I don't think they've been casting from the couch, I think they're just talking about the games in between matches, in between series. We haven't actually seen the casters. Like we haven't panned over to the casting desk at all, which is a little bit strange to me, at least so far. Because I'm pretty sure it hasn't been Roddy and Zombie casting, right? See, I'm just used to like this segment, like this segment happening, and then bam, you cut to the casters, right? And like you see them, and they kind of like introduce the players and introduce like the game state or the storyline that we have. So it feels a little bit weird so far, not having that. Likewise, I still miss that like analyst stage that they had, where they would go over the games with State with his iPad. Unironically, it was my favorite part of UWC last year. Yo, meanwhile, shout out to Torts, 1983 in the chat. God, I mean, thanks so much for the Switch Prime. Thank you, do appreciate it as always. Thank you, gracias. As it looks like we're about to cut to a break. Yeah, they're showing off the brackets. And, oh, never mind. Looks like that is not what they were cutting to. There we go. We have the updates. We have Beyond versus Lambo. Again, that's going to be the next series. And Astray versus Big Gabe facing off in that lower bracket. Again, it's top 2 that make it through into the group stage. I believe from the top side, the winner goes up against Clem. And then from the lower bracket, I believe they go up against Cyril, which is brutal, by the way. It's not going to be easy, not at all. But I'll be honest, there are certain instances where I do favor the players, right? Like we've seen Björn take down Clem's Protoss in the past, so like that there's a possibility there. We've seen Lambo take down and take it to Cyril and ZVZ before as well. So I do believe like there are definitely certain players that I would maybe even favor over Clem and Cyril, depending on who faces off against who, right? Like I don't favor Lambo against Clem, but like Björn has a chance. Meanwhile, I don't favor Björn against Cyril, but I feel like Lambo has a chance. So we'll see how everything kind of like falls in place.
I am here with my good friend Tasteless. What's up, Nick? How are you?
I'm doing great. It's my 30 WC. I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be back in Riyadh.
Hells yeah. I mean, we were here watching the games between Lambo and HeRoMaRinE. Lambo took it as you predicted.
Yeah, Lambo looking really strong.
Oh, we haven't had
just
predictions.
HeRoMaRinE kind of powering
like caster
with
predictions.
And so it's going to be, what, Lambo versus Beyond coming up, right?
That's a pretty good matchup. Who do you think is going to take it? I mean, you got this one predicted down the...
If I have to predict one, I think it's going to be Beyond. I think he's improved
I would say
a
Beyond
lot.
as well.
Obviously, we had a period where there wasn't that much StarCraft 2 going on, so it wasn't really clear where everybody was at. But in both GSL and RSL, I thought Beyond played pretty well. And I think it'd be kind of nice if Lambo lost. Maybe we can get some casting from him, maybe some desk analysis if he's not in the tournament anymore. But if he wins and moves on, that's great too.
Yeah, I mean, the word on the street is that he even brought clothes, so he's pretty ready for
Yo, he brought
That's pretty good.
clothes?
So I'm very excited for
Crazy.
that. And yeah, I mean, just to fill people in, we had some great American barbecue yesterday by Nick's recommendation.
Yeah, we got right into Riyadh. We thought we'd do something local, so we went to an American barbecue restaurant.
Lovely.
But in all seriousness, it's been really good to be down here. It's been pretty cool to see how much Riyadh has grown as a city and how much better Esports World Cup gets every year. So it's good to be back.
Absolutely.
Yo, so we just got confirmation, by the way. Lambo, the pants are on. The pants are up, baby. Let's go. But it is cool to hear that if, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to talk about, but I guess like if Lambo were to be knocked out, they're more than happy to like drag him on stage and have him be a part of the broadcast, which would be really cool. Like I would definitely appreciate that as well. So we can get Lambo on. But otherwise, I think now we're going to be cutting to a break. So we'll see you soon. Yeah, we'll see you soon after the break.